Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you so much for the intro, sir. It's good to be back to college days. And yeah, so can you see my screen? Okay, so I'll just take it forward from here. So yeah, it's in the full screen, sir. No, is it not? Like I'll try to make it to the slideshow. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it fine now, sir? Okay, yeah. So yeah. So, good afternoon to everyone. So, it's a Friday afternoon, so I think everyone will be a little lazy to have a session on entrepreneurship now. But anyway, it's gonna be a nice weekend for the next 2 days. So, I think everyone can just refresh their mind. It's a very interesting topic, and it's gonna be the future. And because I want to see like many entrepreneurs coming out of our college, because we when we were there, like there were like many projects that we were doing, and we just want to prove something. We don't want to be like a normal people who just want to pass out and work in a company for many years and become manager and die. I don't want that routine life. So we thought of doing something different. We don't want a normal life. We wanted to create something, and we want to bring some change to the society. So when we were there, like we were doing our project like in the third semester. We were doing project with the wheelchairs. So we were developing a wheelchair which could actually climb in a staircase, and it can have the devices like it can you can go to sleeping position, you can come to the sitting position, and it has the. So we got our patent and we started working on that. We tried to improve the product a lot, and so then that's how everything has started. So we wanted this as a product. We just want to develop it as a company. And after 2 years of industrial experience, we were mature enough to start a company. We got our 20 lakhs from RON awards, and we started developing it as a product. So we made our active wheelchair and standing wheelchair. So standing wheelchair is basically like it has some kinematic mechanism. You just have to push it, then you can automatically stand. So that's how our journey started. I'll just introduce uh, my team. So this is my team. So we are like actually six people. So I'm the lead design engineer, and we have like marketing people, fabrication people. It's like just one people, but they can do everything. So that's how it started. So we just to have two products actually, like active and standing, which as initial products, at but we would be bringing more and more products into the pipeline. So we are yet to get into commercialization. We are not into sales as of now, but we will be getting into sales in 2 to 3 months. So this is how what our journey is all about. And I'll get into the core concept of entrepreneurship. Like if you see like the statistics, I've collected some interesting statistics. Like 1 in 3 household is involved in new ventures or small business. So nowadays, like people are not don't want to spend their time looking at TV and doing nothing. They just want to do something different. It could be a small thing. They could make a small cake or something. That's how the small business is. They can put it into social media. They can start their sales there. So that's how like 1 in 3 households are doing such a thing. So it's very interesting to see that. And like 90% are small businesses. It could be anything like the cake manufacturing or the small clothes or small boutique or something. And that's very interesting to note. And according to Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, so like 100 million startups every year, that is like 11,000 per hour or 3 new business per second. So it's very interesting to see such a explosion of startups are just getting born every second. So it's very interesting to note. So what we have to stand like unique in the market, so we can just people can identify us. We should have such an idea, and we should have a market for that. That would equally bring us the opportunity in order to get into the path. So it's basically what do we need as a startup. So how do we start? So when we were in a college, so we were like looking for ideas like what to do and what to do. So then like one of my cousin's brother, so he was like a disabled person. So like I went to him, like we were like normally talking about stuff. Then he introduced me like the problems that he's facing in his wheelchair. So that's how the idea sparked. So we thought like why the medical conditions in India is not like as good as in the other foreign countries. We don't have a customized wheelchair, so we don't have a solution that's necessary for the people, like for the middle class people. So that's how the idea was born. Then we were like friends camps. We worked together. So there were like a design guy who could another guy who could actually speak to people, and there is a finance guy. We just made a small team. So that small team has grew bigger. It was initially like 3 people. Now it has become 6. It has a small improvement, but it means a very lot to us. And that's how everything started. So this is how a small idea, but it has to be unique. It should have a value and it should have a market demand in order to get it into a right path. So if you see as an example, if you see Amazon or Flipkart, so it has disrupted the whole shopping experience. If you see, like we will be going to a market, we'll just have to get our bags, we have to see what's there and do stuff. But Amazon and Flipkart, they have changed the whole concept entirely. They have just completely vanished this traditional way of doing shopping. They made everything to the online. So that was a very interesting idea by Jeff Bezos. Like initially, he was just having books. He just want to rent those books. Then he saw like the opportunity of internet is getting boomed, and then he saw that opportunity. He started selling in internet. Then that's how the concept worked, and it has worked very brilliantly, and everything has changed. So that's how Amazon Flipkart has done changes to it. So it's just you have to follow the trend. You just have to look over like what's happening in the market. So what's getting the adequate recognition. So you just have to have an open mind and see the visibility and see everything like what's happening. You should have that unique idea and bring that together to get a good opportunity. So I'll just make a small steps like how it goes. like how the business plan is business idea is done. Then how should you research about that, and how to make a small business plan, and how to develop that business skills. Because we know, like as a startup, we were like completely from mechanical. We didn't know like how to make a business plan, how to frame some legal procedures, and we were like continuously learning from different resources. It was a very good journey. So like yeah, as I told, like finalize your business plan. So business plans, like you have to think over the idea that you're confident enough to portray it to anyone. You just have to discuss with a lot of people and just tell your ideas, like how good it is. You just tell the idea to one person. You just ask him for review. Can you give feedbacks? It goes on a loop and loop. If you keep on improvising the idea, then it gets mature to a certain stage. You just do research. So like many forums are there, like Google Scholars. You just go on to some journals, refer to like what's the idea, and how it would be beneficial in the future and everything. And I'll explain deeply about how to write a business plan. It's a very interesting concept. I'll just explain that. And developing a business skill, it's like a daily routine. You just have to get yourself into update with yourself with some news over how it's done. You have to connect with a lot of people. You just have to go and talk to a lot of business kind of people. And because business skills can be acquired only by interacting with a person. It's completely a journey of experiencing with yourself in talking with some person, and that's how it becomes a skill. So, and I'll explain about how to register your business, and what sort of legal entities are there, and what sort of licenses and permits that's required to start your business and launch and market your business. We'll go further to that. So as you see, like it's just a basic intro of like how company classification in India. Like we have like four different types. Well, the first one is like the private limited company, as we all know. So it's like we'll set up a ownership, and there will be like different directors, and you will have shareholders among that. If you're a co-founder, you can have like 50%, 50% if it's like two people. So you can have a shareholders, and as you keep growing, you will have investors coming in. So you will liquidate your stake to some percentage to them, as in return to some cash to your according to your valuation of the company. So it's like that is private limited. And this one person company, it's like kind of similar to private limited company, but it's just made by just one member. That's it. And public company, it's like the trades are done like publicly. The stock exchange is done publicly. So that's how it is. It's for the public company. And the sole proprietorship, it's like the individual person will have the control of everything and authority over the entire business. Here, for the private limited, you will have a different shareholders, and you will have your percentage of control. But in sole proprietorship, you will have the control of your entire business. So that's how it's done. And this is a very interesting example, I would say, because it's a business model canvas of Netflix. As you can see, it's like a whole chart. This single chart could explain everything what the investor wants, because it will have the key partners, and it will have a key activity what they are doing, and what sort of resources they have. Value proposition is something like what's so unique in your product, what's so unique in your idea, so that you can make yourself stand apart in the market. And for the customer relationship, what sort of how you can have a relationship with the customers, what sort of service you are providing in order to maintain that, and what sort of channels. For example, it could be a TV, it could be an app or something. And you should be knowing like what sort of customer segment you will be having. So you are focusing on people who are like movie buffs. So we are all movie buffs. So everyone has Netflix nowadays, because they have made their business plan in such a way they could entice every group and community of people. They are making the people to get into movies and series, and they are making their own series nowadays. So it's like a new segment has opened, and they have like a different way of cost structures, like the technology development that they have. You can pause your movie in your phone, and you can continue your movie in your TV. So that's how technology has developed. So then you can have a Netflix party. You can like 3 to 4 people can together, watch the movie together. So your way of thinking should be so unique in such a way, like it should stand apart from every other concept that's already there. And for example, for the revenue stream, they have make a subscription. First, they'll make you to be in the Netflix for a month, and you can have it for free for 1 month. Then they will get, when you get used to it, when you have the taste of it, then you will be sustained into it, and you'll be made to be part of the Netflix forever. So that's how they plan. So it's very interesting business model canvas. So once you have your business idea in your mind, prepare a chart like this. So you will know like what sort of activities you should do, what sort of resources you need, and list down your value propositions. Like for our wheelchair, we made our value proposition. It's like it has better maneuverability, it can stand apart because of its cost. In the market, we compete based on cost as well as maneuverability and many other stuff. So you have to list down your value proposition. Customer relationship is the most important thing. Like how well you connect with your customers, it's very important. So once you make this business model canvas, you can give it to an investor. He will see the business model canvas, then he will invest. Based on your business model canvas, you'll be valued as a company. And if you see, like there are like many interesting funding schemes that are organized by government. So if you see, there is BIRAC and Nidhi Umbrella. It's like the government is giving us a lot of schemes, a lot of funding. They are making us to get into entrepreneurship as early as possible. There are like many startup TN and everything. We try to apply to everything. We got some grant in certain government schemes also. So it's a very interesting. Like there are many foundations and organizations that are just looking for some innovative ideas to get into the picture. So it's very interesting to see. Like if you see this Alexander von Humboldt, it's like it's very interesting one. Like Germany and India, they are like coordinating together in order to bring some innovations from India. So it's like there are like many stuff. You just have to have a constant um refreshing everything, like what's going on in there, what sort of schemes are just given by government. Just have to follow it very keenly in order to have a overview of everything. And yeah, so actually, if you see, this is, you have to ideate your plans. You have to be so keen with what you're looking into, and in order to get the ideas done. And you actually can, because we, when we were like students, we didn't know like that we could do such a big thing as making a startup, making a small company, and talking to CEO of big companies and big giants, and making partnership with them, and meeting investors and asking for stakes. And we didn't know like we could actually do this. But when we were in college, like there were like many professors, they were like encouraging us to make such a great thing. And because we just had some ideas, we didn't know like whether it could grow as a company or something. But professors helped us, and the overall society, it helped us to get into such a field. So I'll just get into the legal and ethical steps that's involved in it. So it's basically like we have like different startup teams. Like if you see the Startup India registration, if you are making a small business, so you just first have to register yourself into Startup India registrations. Basically, they will make some tax exemption if you want to. They will help you with the tax exemption when you are applying for trade secrets or patents. You will have your tax exemptions there. So then the next one is MSME registration, which is like it's micro, small, and medium enterprises. So basically, if you are looking for some loans, they can actually help us. They have a portal called Udayam portal, so you can just have to register yourself. And if you're a small company, you can actually register yourself. There will be like many concessions from government. They can help you with fundings also. And if you go for bank loans, you will be recognized very easily. So MSME registration will work very efficiently. And the next one is the GST. You have to, once you start having revenues, when you're companies start giving you a lot of revenues, you just have to go register yourself with the GST, and you have ISO. Like ISO is like international standards. Basically, based upon your company's need, you have to look for it. For our company, like when we were looking for what sort of ISO we need as a company, so there are like many ISOs, like ISO 7176, which is basically like for our wheelchair, if it wants to qualify based of quality good, then we have to look for that ISO to be granted. There is like ISO like 13485, which is like if your company is good, whether your company's manufacturing setup is good, they will give the ISO registration. So it's like you have to select based on what's required for your company in order to get it done. So ISO registration is a very important one. You just have to look into it. And you have a lot of regulatory bodies like FSSAI is basically like the food safety standards. If you are making a small company which is good in like making small restaurant based on types, you just have to enroll yourself into FSSAI, so something like that. So we as a medical devices, we enrolled ourselves in CDSCO. It's basically Central Drug Standardization Control and Organization. It's basically any medical devices, we have to give our complete details to them. They will qualify our product based on the standards that's already there. So so you just have to look over like what sort of regulatory bodies you have to get yourself enrolled with. If you have an agriculture based startup, there are like something like AEGI. So it's basically for agriculture based regulatory bodies. So everything has some standards for medical, food, and everything. So you have to make yourself into certain regulatories in order to get in order to not get penalized with that. And there are like many if you come into patents, trademark, and trade secrets and copyrights, you would have already known about it. Like patent, you can apply it, and patent, there are like two different types. You can have some decent registration, and you have provisional patent, and you have a utility patent. So provisional patent is basically like once you have an idea, but you're not well enough to qualify it as done, you can take some time, but you can register as a provisional patent, and you can edit your document for 1 year. So that's how you have the freedom. And for utility patents, like a complete design patent, you have to specify everything, what sort of innovation you have, and you have to mention whatever is required. They will be charging you, and it would take a lot of time. I think it would take around 3 to 4 years to get your patent done. Even it might take longer. If there is some clash, then you have to revise your patent accordingly. And you have a trademark. So basically, trademark, like for Fititout, you can see the logo of us. So for Fititout, we made our trademark. It's like a name. The brand name is actually the trademark. You can make your trademark to your company's logo or company's name or anything. So you have to trademark that. So trade secret is basically like when you are in partnership with some organization, so you are transferring some sort of your knowledge to them, so you have to maintain that secrecy. So in order to maintain that secrecy, they will be having some sort of a memorandum of understanding, like documents relating like two parties agreeing together to not to share this idea to anyone. So that's the trade secret. And copyright, it's like if you have a unique idea, it's for you, it's not for anyone else. So that's how the overall, these are like the some of the legal entities that I could refer to. This covers everything. Like apart from this, there are like more you can get into search in Google and get to talk to people. Like these are the steps that I followed as a company co-founder, and we got our regulatory bodies done, we got our trademark done, and we got our patent done. It's actually filed, and we are looking forward to get it granted. And yeah, so we have registered ourselves into Startup India scheme. So we are looking forward for some funding from some recognized organizations. So like government grants, we have Nidhi Prayas and certain stuff. So it's like a very tough journey to go, because you can't. Uh, actually just stay calm and looking forward. You have to constantly look for opportunities somehow and get things done. So it's like a long journey, but once you start, and it will be very good to see yourself as a CEO sitting in a chair and you can make yourself comfortable, and that's how I could see myself there. So yeah, so if you have any questions, and I'm very happy to take the questions. And we are even looking for some interns. If you want to try to have some internship in our companies, we are very happy to provide that also. And if you want to know more about us, you can contact us anyway. And if you find this, if you want anything, any doubts, you can just ask me now. I can clarify it for you. Hello. So, am I audible?
Any questions, ma?
If you guys want anything in detail, I can explain more in detail because yeah, this is like an overall outline, but I can explain even more than this if you want anything in specific. Yes, sir. Yes, I can share that. Yeah.
The question,
Sure, sir.
the question is sad in the box.
Yeah, sure, sir. Copyrights like very easy operation. There are like many people, like many organizations, they are looking forward for helping in that copyright process. It's like basic. Uh, your content will be protected. We didn't apply for any copyrights as of now. We actually did uh, the trademarks and stuff. There are like organizations they could help us in uh, just giving the sufficient information on that. If you want to connect with that sort of people, I can help you with that for copyrights. Yeah, sure. I just show you the government fundings that are available there. So basically, there are like many government grants that are available. If you see like BIRAC, it's basically you can get funding from 10 lakhs to near to 1 crore. So basically, for 10 lakhs, there are like some seed fundings. So seed fundings is basically you have a proof of concept that is like an idea. If you have to pitch to them, so once that idea is so firm and it's good, they can take that idea and they can help you. They'll give the money like 10 lakhs or something that can make your idea proof of idea that to a complete product. They can help you with that. Like Nidhi Prayas is there. Like I mentioned, like Nidhi umbrella, everything is related to Nidhi EIR and Nidhi Prayas and Nidhi SSS. You can get these things into detail. You can see like how they work. You just have to pitch to them. You just have to pitch your ideas. If they are impressed with your ideas, they are ready to give you grant of 10 lakhs as if it's like in the idea concept. If it's in the commercialization process, even they can help you with it. I can state it with respect to the technology readiness level, TRL level. From TRL 0 to TRL 7, they can help government fundings. BIRAC, they can give up to 50 lakhs there for your product to get commercialized. to improve your products and stuff. No, sir. It's basically like you just have to show your progress and how it's done, and it's like a government funding. So they just want your particular good idea to get encouraged. That's it. You just don't have to repay them. Business model, yeah. This business model I just explained with respect to Netflix. So when we are making our business model, like we know like what is our idea so firm, so this is our idea. So we started doing our market analysis, like what sort of people, how many people would be there. We researched and we found that 2.5 million people are disabled in India. They are in need of future. So we know that like 2.5 million people are there as a customer there for us. So we started then we thought of an idea like how our product stands unique. So we started writing that as a value proposition. So our idea, like our product is completely different from other products because of the weight, which is very less, and we have a low cost than the other wheelchairs that's already there. And our kinematic mechanism is so unique; it can have the transition very easily. So that is our value proposition. We started knowing our customer segment also. We started contacting a lot of hospitals and rehabs. We connected to Apollo hospitals. We connected to many rehabs across country, and we got in connect with them. We went to user trials there. So we, when we were there, we gave our products to them. They were just trying our product. They just made this transition from sitting standing, and they were just driving the wheelchair. They found the wheelchair to be so good. And one of the interesting thing is like one guy who did the marathon thing, he wants our wheelchair to do the marathon for the next time. So he just want to drive that wheelchair for 10 kilometers easily. So he found the transition very easy. He found the manuality very easy. If you just give a small push, it can run very easily. So we connected those people. So we want to know like what sort of key activities we'll be doing. So we have to plan a complete manufacturing setup. So what should be there? What sort of machine should be there? Like bending, cutting, and everything. I've made a complete list of what sort of machine should be there and how the process should be done. And I've made a complete bill of materials for that. And then I made a cost structures, like what sort of factors you have to get in to get like final product done. So BOM cost should be around something like 10 or 15,000. Then we'll be adding logistics, distribution. You'll have marketing stuff getting into it, and then you will have your profit percentage. Then that's your selling cost. So that's how it's done. Then you like we thought of having, we're trying to get in contact with rehabs, or we are trying to get in contact with the individual users separately itself. We have our own digital marketing setup. We are trying to do our marketing in terms of social media. We have our websites. So that's like how we are trying to connect with the different users. So once you have this one canvas ready, you will know like how your business going to stand in the market. Investors will know like how you'll sustain in the market based on your model canvas. So this is how it's done. Okay.
Uh, Sir, Mr. Minute. Participant, the feedback link has been shared in the chat box. Please give your valuable feedbacks. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so applying for a patent, it's like, yeah, as I said, like we have actually in, yeah, we went into contact with certain organization. They are doing the patent document for us. You just have to prepare your own technical terms, like you have to explain your innovation deeply. So once you sign a kind of understanding like MOU with the organization. Like you both will be working together, like how to make the document much more better. So there will be a lot of revisions. Like initial there will be one draft. I made like 10 draft for my patent. I just made patents like 10 draft. Like I was revising. It was like a big journey. Then after that we concluded like it's better now. So then uh, I applied for the patent. So we are waiting for that. Yeah, so I think I have answered that question, I think. Yeah, so actually, you have to register yourself as a company, like a private limited or a sole proprietorship or something, so you can get the fundings because you can't have it in your own name. So you have to put it in the name of the company, and then you have to register it for the startup India scheme. So once you register everything, you will be recognized as a startup. And once that is done, then once you pitch to the people like Nidhi Prayas or something, they will see you as a startup and your idea and everything. Then they will give you the fundings, like based on your TRL level also. Prerequisite, it's like TRL level, and you have to make yourself ensure like you're registered as a startup. DPIIT is there, so like, they will give the certification that it's like a recognized startup, and you have to register yourself in Startup India. So then you'll have your tax exemption and everything. Then you will get your fundings as you pitch to the Nidhi Prayas or some organization. Then you can get your fundings done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't need a legal enterprises to do that. It's like it's just a basic one. Doesn't require anything in specific. Once you cover these things, like once you register yourself into, once you're recognized by DPIIT, and once you register yourself into Startup India, then the process is done. It's nothing to worry about. Yeah. So you will have your like, yeah. So if there are like 3 to 4 founders, like what's your share as a shareholder, and like the funding will be uh, given to your company. So that funding you'll keep it your side, and you'll make it for the whole development of the products and stuff. So you won't take it for your own personal thing, but it's gonna be uh, for the product development and everything. So yeah, so it's like I don't think we need any sort of legal structure to define that. It's a very transparent process. Maybe I can share the email ID or my even my WhatsApp number or something. Sure, sir. I'll just type it in there. So for Nidhi Prayas, what we have seen is like so for government funding, there's some limit. So once you have like 10 lakhs grant, then that is done. So you can't have even more fundings from government. Once that limit reaches to 10 lakhs, then your government grant is done. Then you have to look for your own like separate like CSR funding, or you have to look for other sort of fundings. But government grants will be done after 10 lakhs. So it's based on your technology readiness level, as I said. So there are like many schemes that will recognize only like initial stage startups, like which has just an idea, doesn't have a product. Once it's in need of some grant to get its product done, So it's basically depends on two things. Like as I said, TRL level is very important, and so once you pitch your idea to the schemes that's relevant to your products, like if it's idea level or product level, so you will have a grants accordingly. So once that reaches 10 lakhs, then it's done. Yes, sir. And I have gave my mail ID there, like contact at fititoutsolutions.com. And I've given my, it's like anyone want to contact in the chat I've sent you. I've given my phone number. It's like a German number, so anyone can just message me or something. I can surely help with the ideas. We are like looking for ideas. We can actually help if anyone have any idea. We can work together on making it as a good thing. We are readily available, and we are actually like focused on bringing a lot of ideas, because every weekend we'll used to have a meeting to get some new ideas. It's like a think tank weekend, so we'll have our own weekend thinking of some ideas. So we are looking for some ideas. Like if you guys have any ideas, you can just come to us. We'll just have a talk over it, like how good it would be. Then we can make it forward as a product, or like we can help you with whatever is possible for us to get into. Yeah. Yeah, if you get a funding from government, it's not necessary you have to give them back to them. It's not necessary. You just have to show your progress. It's like you'll be giving your timeline, like how you are going to plan stuff. So initially we made like a plan of 12 months. So like how much it would be there, like we'll be making progress for 3 months in setting up a factory, and for 3 months we'll be deciding like how we'll be making the whole supply chain stuff to be organized. And for the next 3 months we were looking for some licenses and production for the next 3 months. So you just have to show them the timeline. You just have to be so clear with your the future journey. Then you can just pitch to them. It's just nothing else. So social innovation awards was like a very big story. It's like we applied for that, and there were like 1,500 applications, I think so. So Deloitte was there, like they were doing the filtering process. So they were like they filtered the ideas, and there were like 100, I think. Then it went to Infosys, and we pitched to them. We sent some videos of our products and everything done. Then, as they actually called us to showcase our products to them, and we presented to a jury of, I think it'd be around 50 to 20 people from IITs, like many professors. They were like asking many questions, like how the product would act in a whole market segment, and how different it would be in everything. Then we answered those questions, and we were like hoping like we would be getting the fund. And after a journey of 3 months struggling to that sort, then we got a funding of 20 lakhs, and that's how the whole journey of a startup has started. And yeah, then the COVID came. We struggled a lot with the COVID, and because we couldn't get our products done, because we were like importing from different countries, and we struggled a lot. Then we regained ourselves. We know like it's a tough journey, but anyway, then we started knowing our strength, and we came back strong again. And yeah, going good now. Yeah, it's based on like if it's funding, non-government sector, I think mostly they would be asking for stake in return, maybe like. there are like many funding schemes from private organizations. If it's like CSR funding, you can get it, and many would be asking like a stake. You just have to present to them, and then it's based on the stake percentage that you give to the people. Then you can get the fundings done. Yes, sir. There were like many opportunities there for women entrepreneurship. Like there are like many recognitions and many organizations they would ask for like, is there any co-founder or someone in your company is like a women there? But like fortunately in our company we do have a women entrepreneur, and she does all the presentations and stuff. Like people recognize this as a lot. As a developing country like India, it's women entrepreneurship is respected like something else, and it's a very proud thing, I would say. We haven't gone to any loans as of now. Like we were initially in this grant, we had some grant, so we are traveling in that one. But I think in the future, in the near future, we're trying to get some sort of fundings from different organizations, like as I said, like Nidhi Prayas or BIRAC. So once that is done, then we'll be further diluting our stakes to some potential investors, maybe who can take care of our supply chain or something. We are looking for some good investors with a good potential that could help us in our journey. So that's what I'm looking for. Not a problem, sir. I thought of making it as more interactive by making a small breakout session and trying to make a own business plan of like 5 people. Like if time avails, like next time we can actually make that. Exactly. So it would be much more interactive. I know, like I've been talking for 1 hour and that's fine anyway. So yeah, I just prefer that to be done. Like if it's possible, we can arrange that. That would be even more better. I can actually ask my other people to come in and we can actually make it, because I want our department people to get into such a stuff, and that's what I've been expecting for.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation, Naveen, and being with us. Thank you for your cooperation, and we'll have another one section, Naveen, so that
Sure, sir.
we can have some more time to discuss.
Yeah,
Thank,
yeah, that would be much more interactive, and I want that to be done.
thank you,
You
Naveen.
just gave some insights, but we can have another session explaining much more. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, sir. Thank you, Naveen.